Starting lineup, which is presented by your local Acura dealer. The Indians have won the first two games of the series. They're 57-64, and they're going to lead off their second baseman, Jason Kipnis. Francisco Lindor, the shortstop, will bat second. Batting third, the DH, Michael Brantley. Carlos Santana at first base will clean up. Batting fifth, playing right field, Lonnie Chisenhall. Abraham Almonte in center field, bats sixth. Batting seventh and catching, Roberto Perez. He's the backup catcher. Batting eighth and playing third base, Jose Ramirez. And Mike Aviles in left field is going to bat ninth.
That lineup for the Cleveland Indians going to face rookie Luis Severino, and he's made a very nice impression through his first three starts in the big leagues. We'll look at his numbers. Start number 4, 0-2, 3.18 ERA, only 4 walks, 18 strikeouts. Look at our pitcher scouting report, which is always brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. He's looking for that elusive first career major league win. And it's a game of adjustments at this level. He had a no decision 2 starts ago against the Indians. 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs. We'll see if he makes some adjustments facing a lineup for the second time. And there has not been any drop off in his stuff after the 5th inning. Opposing hitters batting .063. So his stuff actually gets better as the game goes on.
So he is looking for his first big league win, and we'll take a look at the defense behind him, and it's presented by Geico. Gardner, Ellsbury, and Beltran left to right in the outfield. In the infield, it's Headley, Gregorius, Drew, and Greg Berg. Teixeira still another day off with that bad leg. John Ryan Murphy behind the plate. The DH today is Brian McCann, as Alex Rodriguez has the day off, and Luis Severino is on the mound. So the Indians have actually taken 4 of 5 from the Yankees, so they've won 2 season series in a row against the Bombers. The Yankees want to get back on the winning track as the American League East just keeps getting tighter and tighter. Jason Kipnis is ready. The rookie Severino is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is outside. We're underway. Lance Barrett, the home plate ump. Tom Woodring at first. Dan Iasonia, the crew chief, at second. And C.B. Buckner is at first. Swing and a miss.
Well, you mentioned the Indians doing a number against the Yankees. Severino a couple of starts ago, 6 innings, only 2 earned runs, and no decision against Cleveland. You've seen that explosive fastball early in ball games. I thought the last start against Toronto, the location was much better. You see the numbers for the season. 9 strikeouts his last time. Severino going with all fastballs, and that catches the back leg. Jason Kipnis has battled some shoulder problems, spent some time on the DL. It's not a nice way to start off your afternoon.
And Jorge Posada getting a roll call from the bleacher creatures. 1-2. Fly ball, left field, toward the line, in the corner. Gardner makes the play, 1 away. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. It wasn't supposed to be a nice day. It's a beautiful day here at the stadium. 83 degrees, not much wind, 38% humidity. It is hot, it is sunny, it's great. Here's the youngster, Francisco Lindor, switch hitter, batting from the left side against Severino. And a strike. .97 miles an hour, 0-2. Just underway here at the stadium. And that one is hammered to right field. Moving back is Beltran, and that ball's gone. A home run for Lindor, and the Indians get a run. That was out in an eye blink, John.
I'll tell you what, this is pretty impressive right here from Lindor. We've seen him do a lot in this series. A good defensive shortstop. He's had some quality at bats. He gets on top of a 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Severino. Looked and Severino had the ball jumping out of his hand. That is not easy to do right there. Up in the zone, get on top of it, get some backspin, and finds maybe the second row.
6th home run for Lindor. And here's Michael Brantley. Fouled away. That quieted the crowd in a hurry. The home run by Lindor. The 0-1.
It's almost a little bit of a wake-up call. You have the Jorge Posada ceremony. Everybody enjoying that, and then all of a sudden you realize you're down 1-0. The Indians have taken the first 2 games of this series. Find a way to pick up a win this afternoon. There's a lot to like about that young shortstop for Cleveland.
A 1-1. Fly ball. Left field. Gardner for the second out. So 2 fly balls to Gardner for the 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Carlos Santana. No other game in baseball is a 1 o'clock start. The next starts are at 4:05. So the eyes of the baseball world upon the Bronx right now as the Yankees take on the Indians. The only show in town. Santana takes inside.
It's tough to be critical of Severino. He's been so good early in his first 3 starts. One thing you might pick apart, location with the fastball. There's an example of it right there. John Ryan Murphy setting up away, and sometimes he'll yank it across the plate in. Behind in the count 2-0. His last start against Toronto really locked in with the location.
Two and 1.
Seems to have a comfort level with that little cutter right there at 91, being able to drop that in for strikes and fastball counts. Unusual for a young kid to come up to the big leagues and be able to pitch behind a little bit, pitch backwards.
(3-1) and Santana walks. And that brings up Lonnie Chisenhall. Indians are used to facing rookie pitchers. Strangely, this is the 31st game this season they face a rookie starting pitcher. That's the most for any major league team. They're 9-12 against those pitchers. And the pitchers have a 4.01 ERA. A lot of no decisions in there for the rookie starters. The 0-1 popped up. Headley in foul territory makes the play, and that will do it. But Francisco Lindor hits one into the short porch and right. Indians won. In left field is Brett Gardner batting second. Hitting third, playing right field, Carlos Beltran. Brian McCann will DH. He'll clean up. Batting fifth, playing first base, the rookie Greg Bird. Chase Headley at third base will bat sixth. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, Didi Gregorius. Stephen Drew, the second baseman, will hit eighth. And batting ninth and catching, John Ryan Murphy.
Manager Joe Girardi sending that lineup out there, trying to get the offense going a little bit against Danny Salazar. His warm-up tosses be his 23rd start, 11-6, the impressive 3.16 ERA. And we'll look at our pitcher scouting report, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. It does not get any easier for the Yankees today. You could argue he has the best stuff on this Cleveland Indians staff, and the .210 batting average against, that is proof. That is third lowest in the league. And there is some good news. He will run some full counts over 15% of the time. That's the third highest total in the American League. So try to work some counts, get that pitch count up, try to get into that Cleveland Indian bullpen.
The view from the upper deck here at the stadium on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Jacoby Ellsbury with a pinch hit single in last night's game. He did not start in there today, though, hitting .275. He's 7 for his last 19. Salazar deals. And a strike.
Salazar coming off a win against the Boston Red Sox. 7 innings, 4 hits, only 1 earned run. Fastball slider split.
Foul back to the screen, 1-2. Last 4 starts for Danny Salazar are pretty darn good. An under 1 ERA. He's walked 9 in 28 innings, but he struck out 24, a 3-0 record.
Well, like I said, you can argue he has the best stuff on the staff, and he's starting to figure out how to win.
That one is looped into left field for a base hit. Ellsbury, leadoff single. Just got the outfield grass to pick up a leadoff single.
Jacoby Ellsbury is going right, and he has been lately. He really lets that ball travel, and it's easy to do when you have 96 coming at you and just blocks it off the other way. Up in the zone, let it travel and get beat a little bit. Still a good swing and strong enough to find some grass in left field.
So here's Gardner. Ellsbury held at first by Santana. Ramirez in on the grass at third, guarding against the bunt.
Perez, the backup catcher, doing the work today behind the plate, has a strong throwing arm. Ellsbury obviously can run with his 15 stolen bases.
Count 1-0. Thought it was a nice gesture by the Indians, John, during Jorge's speech. They were all on the top step of the dugout. And right from the very beginning of the ceremony, Terry Francona and his coaching staff, they were out there as well.
I mean, this man gets it right there, Terry Francona. He knows what it's all about. He knows the history of the game. His players followed his lead.
And then also a very nice gesture by Jorge in his speech to single out Michael Vilas, who has a young daughter who is battling a medical condition. And he singled out Mike and said, I hope everything goes well. That was really, really classy. That one is drilled to right field. That ball is gone. See ya. A bullet. 2-run home run for Gardner. And the Yankees lead 2-1.
Be one of those days. We've seen a couple of high fastballs from some hard throwing starting pitching, and Brett Gardner, just like Lindor, getting on top, and a line drive right down the line, right off the top of the wall. A nice start for the New York Yankees.
Here's Beltran. 1-0. Brett Gardner likes hitting in the first inning. 355, 3 homers, 11 ribbies, and he scored 25 runs. Pretty good table setter.
We've seen Severino in 3 starts. He's not used to getting his fastball turned around. The same thing with Salazar. Go to the off-speed game a little bit more.
Now with one swing, Brett Gardner gave the Yankees 2 runs and Severino 2 runs. The 2 runs matches the total run support for Severino in his first 3 starts. Beltran fouls it away.
A different looking lineup today. Beltran in the middle at 3, McCann DHing at 4, and you got Greg Bird hitting 5. Alex Rodriguez a day off. Mark Teixeira still nursing that bone bruise. A little different look to the lineup this afternoon.
Ground ball right side. And that is scored 6-3 as Lindor made that play. Let's check out the Indians defense presented by Geico. Aviles, Almonte, and Chisenhall left to right in the outfield. Infield, Ramirez, Lindor, Kipnis, and Santana. That's third to first. Perez behind the plate. Salazar on the mound. Here's Brian McCann. And there's a strike.
We talked a lot about the new stance last night for Brian McCann.
High fly ball. Deep right. Chisenhall back. Track. Wall. See ya. Home run from Brian McCann. It's 3-1 Yankees.
Might be one of those days. Beautiful day here in the Bronx. Ball looks like it's going to fly out of here, and Brian McCann, just like Brett Gardner, got a nice fastball to hit. 22nd home run of the year, and I guess that new stance and a little bit of adjustment pays off. Little sinker, middle and down. McCann works right underneath it, gets some good backspin.
Greg Bird takes outside.
If you're the Yankees, you know you have your hands full with Danny Salazar. All of a sudden, everybody in that Yankee dugout rushing over to the bat rack. A couple of home runs here in the first. Give your young pitcher a lead and get the weight back on your back leg if you're Brian McCann. Good extension.
Two and one. That one is drilled deep to right. There it goes. Is it fair? Foul. Third home run of the inning by that much.
You always have to respect the velocity on the fastball from Salazar, and Greg Bird just a little quick on the changeup. You could see it's fouled by plenty. Just a little bit too quick. 84 miles an hour. You're thinking 95, 96.
3-2. Fly ball, left center. Almonte makes the play. Headley moved out of the way.
The one thing you like about Salazar, we've already been talking about his stuff. He works awfully quick. He's on the mound, ready to go. Obviously, we showed that graphic over his last couple of starts. It's been outstanding. Steps on the mound, ready to deliver a strike.
The McCann home run is 22nd, his 75th ribby. All of last year, he had 23 home runs and 75 ribbies. So anything after this, and it's August 22nd, is gravy compared to last year. Pretty nice Jorge Posada patch on today's uniform. And also the hat. 2-2. 3-2. Yankees continue their first inning dominance. They now have 102 runs in the first inning, the most of any team in baseball. That one is looped into left field and over the leaping try of Ramirez for a base hit. So Headley picks up a 2-out single, and they are making Salazar throw a lot of pitches here in the first.
Yeah, you love the home runs, obviously, to get on the board. 3 runs already, but a great at bat by Headley. Gets jammed just like Ellsbury and finds a little grass in the left field. And you're right, the batting or the pitch count elevated. You look on Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. 29 pitches already, and that'll bring Mickey Callaway, the pitching coach, out to settle him down just a little bit.
Gene Monahan came in to honor Posada, and they put him to work. Sitting with his longtime assistant, now the head athletic trainer, Steve Donahue. So that conference is done. 29 pitches for Salazar. And that'll bring up Gregorius. See the lead for Headley. Oh and 1. Three for his last 29, Didi. 0 and 2. Salazar with an under 1 ERA in his last 4 starts has given up 3 here in the first. High fly ball. Left field, Aviles is there, and that'll do it. But the Bronx Bombers came to play today. Brett Gardner with a line shot into the stands on the top of the wall for a 2-run home run. Then McCann, more conventional, makes it 3-1 Yanks. Really nailed the speech. It was great, and you did a little bit of it in Spanish as well.
Yeah, that was for
cool.
my mom and my dad, because they understand a little bit of English, but I want to make sure that they understood what I was saying.
You know, I was saying in the open that knowing you and playing with you, you were never a guy that wanted the attention, craved the attention. Well, today you got all the attention, and you were in the spotlight. It had to be a little awkward.
Yeah, it was. It was. You know, coming in from Manimay Park with the golf carts and, you know, everybody standing up. And, I mean, the fans have been so great my whole career. And, you know, I went out there with a purpose every day, you know, and I think that's why they like the way I played, and I'm very proud of everything, all the accomplishments, and today's a great day. And
so many of your teammates came back,
yeah.
And there's so many pictures out there on on the Twitter sphere, and you take a look at those guys. I mean, so many winners, so many rings. It must have been awesome to play on those teams.
Yeah, I very happy that Broach was there, and Matsui was there. Obviously the core four is there. Bernie Williams opened the doors for us, and Bernie being from Puerto Rico and done everything that he's done for this organization, I was very, very happy that he was also there.
And there's the group shot right there with your manager and the guy who brought you up for the first time, Gene Michael, as well.
Yeah, Joe Torres, an important man in my whole career. He was always there for me when I was struggling with Jorge's surgeries, and I mean, everybody. I really don't have words of how I felt out there today.
I'll tell you what, we have pictures of how Jorge Jr. felt. He was chaffing you, throwing that pitch a little bit high.
He was not happy. I told him, I said, that's going to be on ESPN or Yes Network and MLB.
Look at him. He's chewing you out there.
He said he had a suit on. He couldn't stretch out. And so he was not happy.
All right, best of the championships. Your favorite one?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. They're so unique. They're different. They've got different players on different ones of them. And, so you enjoy having 25 guys going after a tough year, because it's not easy, and we made it look easy.
Here's Roberto Perez.
One of my favorites was the reading of the Yogi Berra letter to you.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yogi has been, having him back in spring training that year, I think it was 99. After he was absent for a while. He helped me so much on cheating to get towards the ball, throwing runners out, and he always with a positive attitude. I love having him around.
Talk about the Yankee catching legacy, though. You were always so proud of that at the old place. Catching where Thurman Munson and all the other greats did.
Yeah, Diana Munson being here, Elson Howard, Bill Dickey, Yogi. Everybody talks about it while you were playing, but I never thought I would have been there. I'm very proud that the legacy of behind the plate kept going with me.
Now, we just showed a shot of you out in Monument Park, a quiet moment alone as you're reading the plaques. What are you thinking there? Hey, I'm gonna live here for a while.
Yeah, I was actually looking at a little spot. There's a plaque. Yogi's up top, and there's a little hole. And I was like hoping that they can put my plaque next to underneath Yogi. That would be great.
There's a ground ball to second. Drew is there. Can you stay one more half inning? I know you're crazy busy.
Of course.
We haven't asked you nearly enough questions.
Of course.
All right, so Severino bounces back. He's got his name on bases. He's got his number on.
To do that.
There's Andy Pettitte. He'll be honored tomorrow. His number 46 will be retired. That's the one word we always hear when people talk about you: intensity, drive, desire. Did you enjoy yourself when you're out there, or were you so locked in? And
no, you know what? I did play with the game mad, and I thought that I had better success when I was mad, because I was more focused and I wanted to really kill the opposition. That was my attitude all the time. I didn't have. I have friends, but for me, when that game started, they were enemies.
Now, don't you think, that you have to thank John Flaherty just a bit, because he caught Randy Johnson instead of you having to do it?
Yeah, he was a big part of my sane during that year.
But you know what, a big part of that, Michael, when that whole thing went down and Jorge and I talked about it, and his first comment was, I just want him to win.
Yeah.
I just want us to win.
Yeah.
And I think that's what jumped out at me playing against Jorge all the years with Tampa Bay. And then you get in the clubhouse with him, and it was all about team and winning. It wasn't just about him.
Yeah. And
you got into it with some teammates in the clubhouse, which was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, it was all fun. I think, there's times brothers fight, and that's the way I saw it. There was times that you needed to say something. People didn't like that I would come up to you and say, because I would just tell you straight up, and people didn't like that. And, I'm sorry for, but it's just the way it was. I got into it with Bernie. Bernie's my brother. I got into it with Derek. more about words, but I got into it with a lot of our players because there was times that it just happened. You know, you don't, you know, especially when you're not playing the game where it's supposed to be played, and that's the only thing I will come out.
Now, I really enjoyed, you thanked a bunch of the people with the Yankees, coaches, minor league people, minor league staff, and you said they showed you the right way to play. Yeah. That's where it all began.
Yes, sir. The minor leagues they taught us the right way. They taught us the Yankee way. They taught us how to put the uniform on, you know, how to conduct yourself. There was a lot of things that they did, but it was to show us how to do it on and off the field, and that was very, very important early in my career.
I mean, the story has been out there for so long. You and Derek are extremely, extremely close. What was it that brought you guys together that you are literally like brothers?
We like the same things. And being on that bench in 1995 and we didn't have a chance to play. They were going through that run to try to get to the playoffs in 95. So we were sitting down in the dugout just watching the game in the best seat in the house, and we really, really got close. What are you doing tonight? You know, okay, let's go out to eat. What do you want to do? Steak, Italian, whatever. Watch a movie. So we really got close in 95.
1-2 count on John Ryan Murphy, runner on first, nobody out. That ball's fouled away. All right, so who's the toughest hitter to get out?
For me, it was Edgar Martinez.
Okay.
He was tough because he was never off balance. When you're behind the plate and you're watching and he fouls the ball off and he's never off balance. He seems like he was always in control of every swing. That was tough for me. You couldn't set him up. Manny Ramirez was up there too.
Those are the same two guys that Andy Pettit told me yesterday.
They were tough. They were tough. And you know, it's just the way they approach. They will foul a ball. They will look really, really silly on a curveball. You throw that same curveball and they hit it out because they kind of played that mind trick and they knew what was going on. So it was tough to, you know, especially if you had a history. If Andy Pettit had a history with nice.
Murphy goes the other way, picks up a single. Drew around second. He'll go to third. Yankees have runners on the corners and nobody out. All right, toughest pitcher for you to hit?
Pedro Martinez.
And you liked him too, right?
I loved him.
You guys had real battles.
Yeah. You know what? You face a guy a lot of times. It seems like they always wanted us to face him. But, well, they set up the rotation too, so he will face us because he was the best pitcher in the league. 99, 98, 99, 2000. He was the best pitcher in the league. He was tough to hit. Once he got, he was throwing the fastball a little less, then you got to him a little bit later on, but he was tough.
So I would think that big hit in the Aaron Boone game had to mean the world to you.
Yeah. I knew what he was trying to do, and I tried to get to that pitch before he threw it, and it was 2-1 count, and I knew he was kind of coming in, so I looked for a pitch inside, and I got it, and got a lot of grass out there.
Now you look great. You're in great shape. Is there any desire to come back and manage or coach one day?
Yeah, I would like to. I'm enjoying the kids. I miss a lot of their things. So I want to be home a little bit longer. I just don't want to be. It's a long season. I want to be home, and I enjoy myself with them. And maybe when they're gone, I can start somewhere. So I'm always home. But maybe when they're gone, then I can start something else.
We're talking with Jorge Posada. Today is his day here at Yankee Stadium. His number on each side of the field in foul territory, number 20, which was retired today by the New York Yankees. 1-1 count on Ellsbury. Right back to Salazar. He goes to second and throws it away. So Drew scores. Murphy's safe. It'll be an error on the pitcher, and it's 4-1 Yanks.
Salazar, who's been so locked in coming into this game, looks like it's going to be a double play. He'll trade the run for 2 outs, and he just gets very calm and relaxed. And the errant throw, a tough start early on for Danny Salazar.
And now you unveil the plaque with your wife, Laura. And is this the first time you've seen the plaque?
Yeah, this is the first time. I'm actually looking at my face in the plaque. And Andy Pettis like, whoa, what's up with the nose? And then and then Derek's like, where are the ears? The ears are small. And but he said, well, if they put that big nose, I can't believe what tomorrow's going to happen with it. So they're making fun of the flag. And
you always hear from players, Jorge, not so much missing playing the game in spring training, but missing hanging with the guys.
Yeah.
There's a fly ball to center off the bat of Gardner, and Almonte runs it down. Tagging is Murphy. He'll go to third. Is that true? And was today a chance to be kids again?
Yeah. You come in, and you come in around 11 o'clock, and you're downstairs in Robbie Kakuza's office, and there's everybody, and you start messing with each other again, and those are the fun times. You win. You after the game, you hang out. You get on a plane maybe to go somewhere. Those are the things that you forget, and you want to be a part of that again. You miss that part of being in the clubhouse together.
How much interaction in your career did you have with George Steinbrenner?
Not much. More in spring training. He would come around. He would, he liked to walk when we were stretching, beginning of the day, and he would just give you a pat on the shoulders and how you doing? How's Georgie doing? He will always ask me about little Jorge.
Now, he helped with that, and he contributed some money to the foundation.
Every year, he was the first check will be him in spring training. This is for your foundation.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
First and third, one out. Beltran at the plate. So what's next, the Hall of Fame?
Oh, my God. If I got emotional today, Michael, I don't know. They said I'm borderline. So we'll see. We're going to get a sense 2017 of how people vote, and I just hope, man, because that would be. This was special. Imagine that day.
Right. Well, there's a resume they'll consider. 17 big league seasons, 5-time All-Star, 5-time world champion. He had 20 more home runs in 8 seasons. And that gets your number retired. Pretty cool.
Thank you, Mike.
Salazar leans in for the sign.
Nice.
Fly ball, left field. Aviles toward the line will make the catch. Tagging is Murphy. He will score. Tagging is Ellsbury. He'll go to second. And it's 5-1 Yankees.
You know what, Jorge, talk about some of the pitchers. You caught some great ones that have come through here. I mean, Clemens, Pettit, Mike Mussina. And I think your offensive game probably overshadowed what you did behind the plate. And I think more specifically, how you worked with the pitching staffs. Talk about some of the greats.
My favorite was Roger Clemens. He got up, even in his side games, his side throws, he would get up for it. And that energy helped you so much. Mike Mussina was probably the smartest pitcher I had on the mound. Andy Pettit was probably the biggest gamer that I had. Orlando Alduque Hernandez was also a big game pitcher. David Cone. I had some special players. David Wells. Somehow we were on the same page.
Yeah.
As crazy as David was, he was. Whenever he was on the mound, he was a big competitor. And I got a chance to, like you said, have some great pitchers here. But I really enjoy, the Andy Pettits and the Roger Clemens, and obviously winning with these guys on the mound.
1-1 count on McCann. You see Adams warming up the bullpen with the Yankees up 5-1. You like what you see with Brian McCann? Is he doing justice to the position? Yeah,
he looks comfortable. He looks a lot better this year. He went through spring training a little bit, I think a little banged up. And then, after he got hot. So I think the first month was tough, because he got a little bit probably banged up. His legs weren't on there, but now he looks like he's comfortable. He's swinging his bat. His bat looks live. And he's doing a hell of a job behind the plate, throwing people out, going a hell of a game.
Well, you're on the same list of most 20-plus home run seasons as a catcher. So Brian has 9. You have 8. And Piazza and Johnny Bench have 11 and Yogi 10.
Pretty nice names on that list.
Yeah, that's some offensive numbers there.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. And McCann down on strikes. Jorge, I'm so happy for you, and it was an honor for me to call you a games your whole career.
Thank you.
You're a class act, and you just right. A lot of people have great moments they remember. Tempest in the yellow. 2003 ALCS Game 7. The image of Jorge fist pumping is forever. That one's popped up. Greg Bird over. Makes the play. And Jorge said that he remembers this one as well. And this was against his favorite, Pedro.
Things were happening so fast in that game. And, you know, we've seen plenty of emotion from Jorge Posada during his career, but nothing like that.
Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. So Severino actually gets run support today. He's leading 5-1 with 1 out here in the top of the third, according to the Audi A3 scoreboard. Kipnis takes inside.
You know, Michael, when you play against somebody like Jorge Posada, and I was lucky enough to play against him Tampa Bay years and even before that in the minor leagues a little bit, you see how talented somebody is out on the field. You know, switch hitter, has power, the way they throw and block, but that didn't tell half the story once you play with him and
right.
You watch him in the dugout. And everybody always talked about his intensity and the way he grinded every day. It rubbed off on everybody else. I mean, he was one of those, you hate to say silent leaders, but he took control of that clubhouse, was a major force in there and a big reason they did all the great things they did.
What's interesting about those championship teams, John, and having the opportunity to be around them, Derek had the title as the captain, but everybody served a role. I mean, as Jorge said, he would get in people's faces. Tino would do that. O'Neill would have a role in that as well. Everybody played a different role, and it wasn't, okay, one guy has to lead this team. People picked up where they had to.
I always viewed Jorge from the outside looking in, playing against him, as, you know, you would think of an offensive catcher who swung the bat and didn't really care a whole lot about his defense and his pitchers. And I couldn't have been further from the truth, because when you watch him deal with the pitching staff, meetings, he took control. You know, he was on top of his game with those guys, and they followed his lead and they respected him, and it turned out to be an unbelievable Yankee career.
And I know one thing. The last year of his career when he was relegated to DH, it hurt him because he considered himself a catcher.
And a prideful man.
There's a strike. There's a base hit to right field off the bat of Lindor. What an impressive young player this kid is, as Kipnis will go to third.
He just keeps doing his thing. He had the home run in the first, now a base hit to right field. We've seen him go the other way. He plays good defense. We talked about it for 2 games already. The Indians not going anywhere, but this is a little showcase for some of their young talent. You audition for the manager, Terry Francona. It looks like Lindor is going to be around.
Kind of excited to see the battle between Severino and Lindor. They'll, you know, if they stay healthy, they'll be facing each other for the next decade. Part of the youth movement in baseball. Here's Brantley with a fly ball to left in the first. It's 5-1 Yankees. There's a strike.
Well, we've liked everything that we've seen from Severino in his starts, and we talked about the lack of run support. Well, today he's got a 4-run lead, and this will be the next step. How do you pitch with a lead? Is there a little let up in your game? Do you stick to the game plan? A little bit of trouble here, first and third, with 1 out in the third, and a very good hitter, Michael Brantley, up at the plate. Different steps for young pitchers when you get to the big league level. Do you battle when you don't have your great stuff and keep your club in the game? We've seen that from Severino. Now here's the next step. You have a 4-run lead in the third. Stay away from that big inning if you can. You will trade an out here for that run at third. If you're Severino, just try to stay away from the big inning.
Severino does not look nearly as sharp as he did in Toronto. Still has good stuff. He still has a 5-1 lead, but there he was overpowering against a ferocious lineup. 2-1. Did he go? Yes, he did, said Buckner.
We saw some of these check swings go against the Yankees last night. You see Brantley up in the zone. The bat head comes through. C.B. Buckner makes the call. Huge call right there. Instead of 3-1 count, Brantley in the driver's seat. Now Severino 2-2.
Grounded to first. Bird goes to second one. Back to first. Not in time. For some reason, Kipnis is at third. Did not come home on the throw to second. Wow. A break for the Yankees.
Well, you would expect that maybe from a young player. That's just a base running mistake. And you see Bird plays in front of him. He freezes Kipnis with his eyes and then delivers to Gregorius. Right when he turned to throw to second, that's when Kipnis should have taken off, and he didn't. Good job by Bird freezing the runner with his eyes right there. And for some reason, Kipnis didn't follow through with the play. Yankees will take it.
Now Terry Francona comes out and talks with Lance Barrett. He's talking about second base.
You see Gregorius a throw off line a little bit. Does he keep his foot on the bag? It doesn't look like it.
Nope.
He's off.
It's a hard interpretation because they give you a little leeway with the quote-unquote neighborhood play, but that seemed like it was more than the neighborhood play.
Yeah, that is. There's no contact with second base. Take another look at it. The throw takes Gregorius out towards right field. Clearly off the bag.
Now the umpires are going to convene and talk about it again, because there's a little bit of a dispensation because of the neighborhood play, because they didn't want replay to force second basemen and shortstops to stay there and get injured. Now, is that more than the neighborhood play? And this is really an unfair judgment for an umpire to make. Well, was that neighborhood, or did it pull him off the bag?
Well, the runner wasn't even close in this case, right?
Right.
So if the throw pulls you off the bag, maybe they have a conversation and they can look at it. But it didn't look like this was a play where the runner was barreling down on Gregorius.
Let's see how the umpire saw it in regular speed in terms of the neighborhood play. The umpires are talking now with Terry Francona.
You can see in real time it looks like he's around the bag.
I just think, John, when you put those wrinkles in that rule, you're putting the umpires in a really tough situation. I mean, what are they supposed to do? So if they called him safe there, then Joe Girardi would have come out and argued, well, I thought there's dispensation for the neighborhood play. I mean, this is a can't win for the umpire.
Isn't it the idea with instant replay is to get the play right?
Right.
Well, this is a situation where you should be trying to get the play right. That's what Terry Francona is arguing.
And Terry gets thrown out. You know what? You've got to agree with him. I'd be pretty hot, too.
I just think how big of a call this is. I mean, you either have 2 outs, first and third, run hasn't scored, or bases loaded and 1 out. And the base running mistake by Kipnis is not that big of a deal. Now it's a huge deal.
So here's Santana. They allowed Severino to throw some warm-ups as all that talking was going on. And a strike. Another strike. 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch buzzed him upstairs at 96.
John Ryan Murphy wanted this fastball middle of the plate and up. You see where he sets up the target. It's yanked a little bit in. Santana made it look a lot worse than it actually was. A good purpose pitch. Change the eye level a little bit.
One-two. Swing and a miss. 97 miles an hour. And Severino works out of trouble. No runs are hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the dugout for the game as well, and the man that called him up in 1995, Gene Michael. And there's a strike to Greg Bird as we start at the bottom of the 3rd. Audi A3 scoreboard, 5-1 Yankees. Saw a lot of emotion out of Severino there on that strikeout.
You know, I was a little worried about him when Terry Francona was out there arguing with Dan Iasonia, the second base umpire. A lot of time for a young kid out on the mound. He came right back, got ahead in the count, put Santana away with that good fastball right down the middle. Here's the reaction afterward.
Well, Dan Iasonia making some money for the league. Threw out Joe Girardi earlier in the series and now throws out Terry Francona. That's popped up. Lindor makes the play. John, you ever get tossed out of a game?
One game. I got thrown out in 1996. Jerry Lane threw me out. I was with San Diego play at the plate. We had a little discussion.
Now, did you actually have to write a check?
Now what happened was we had went back and forth. I thought it was all over and play was resuming, and then I was kind of mumbling to myself, and Jerry got back in front of me and started wiping off home plate and took off his mask and looked me right in the eye and said, "Do you have anything else you want to say?"
Wow.
So of course, being a proud and stubborn Irishman, I felt like I had to get up and take my mask off and go toe to toe with Jerry. So he threw me out of the game, and I never received any paperwork on paying a fine. So I don't know this for a fact, but I think Jerry Lane just kind of let it go and said, you know what, maybe we both didn't handle that situation the right way.
Fly ball left field. Aviles drifts over toward the line, and he makes the play on the backhand for the second out. Let's take a look at the AL East standings, brought to you by your local Chevy dealer. The Blue Jays won last night, so they're a game back in the loss column. Half game behind. The Orioles 5 back, Rays 6.5, and the Red Sox keep gaining gains. 11.5 games behind the Yankees and kind of moving up in the wild card. Still an extreme long shot, but not going away. This is almost the anniversary of you getting thrown out, John. August 23rd, 1996. Tomorrow would be the anniversary.
Get in touch with Jerry Lane and relive some old times, some old memories. Too bad he's not working this series. That would have been nice, right? Go down and have a cup of coffee.
We'll have him come up to the booth and throw you out.
Yeah, that'd be outstanding.
Gregorius with a fly ball to left. Aviles is there, and he's battling the sun. He doesn't see it. Drops to the turf. And Gregorius is at second. That is a tough sun. We've told you forever, left field at Yankee Stadium. It's the same way geographically as the one across the street. So you're seeing the sun the same angle, which has given outfielders fits over the years.
Aviles, a natural infielder, who just made a really nice running play, and there's really nothing you can do. Right in the sun, he has the glasses on, he's trying to shield it with his glove, and now you just worry about not taking one in the back.
Pretty close. So that scored a double. We talked about this last week. Similar play happened, John. Now, Aviles should not be penalized because he couldn't see the ball. But Salazar shouldn't be penalized, saying that he gave up a hit. He got a medium-range fly ball to left field.
Easy fly ball. Should be out of the inning. Now there's a chance he could give up another earned run. You got Didi Gregorius, who's been struggling big time lately. He'll take it. You put your head down and run to first base thinking your slump has continued. You got a double and some positive thoughts moving forward.
Indians really showed their class when it came to Mike Aviles. His daughter is battling, his little baby daughter is battling leukemia. And there was some interest, teams at the trade deadline, in Mike Aviles. And the Indians said, we are not trading Mike Aviles as long as his daughter is going through this. It's not fair. She needs to be here. This is where the doctors are. And just a really classy move by the Indian organization. Two-one.
Watch Stephen Drew all year long. The batting average has been below 200, and last night he finally showed some emotion. Hit that ball deep to left field and showed some frustration as he came around first. Talked to Joe Girardi plenty of times about Drew this year, and he said he's handled it like a pro, kept his composure, comes to work every day trying to work out of it. Last night I thought the first time he really showed some frustration when he hit a ball well the other way and nothing to show for it.
Swing and a miss. Drew down on strikes. No runs. A Sun-aided double for Gregorius. One man left. We go to the fourth. 5-1 Yanks. And Luis Severino, 9.5. We'll have to save that for when Al comes back. Is he ever coming back? The Lincoln scoreboard, 5-1 Yanks. We haven't seen Al, what, in 104 games? I think Al has inherited the old O'Neill schedule. That's fouled away.
Well, I asked Paul O'Neill to come up here and spend a couple innings with us today. Well, I haven't seen him yet.
How much did he last?
He said something about golf at 1:30, I think.
That sounds like Paul. Did you see Paul during the ceremony? I don't even know if we have a shot of it. He's lounging like he's on a chair in Jones Beach. I mean, everybody else is sitting up straight. He's being Paul.
He's got a monument out there. He can do whatever he wants now.
That one is looped into center field. A base hit for Lonnie Chisenhall. Talking with Sandy Alomar Jr., first base coach. He will always be one of the villains in Yankee history for hitting that home run against Mariano Rivera in 1997 in Game 4. And then the Indians came back and won Game 5 and ended up going to the World Series that year. Look at Paul. Just a day at the beach.
Well, let's pay attention to this guy here and how he handles himself, and this guy here. A little different aura about them.
Paul's just very relaxed. He's got it all figured out. He's the complete opposite of when he played. Complete. Almonte struck out looking in the second. Now, we told you about Jorge's number 20 being retired. This is a bit of minutia that I never, ever figured to be the case. That number 20 is the most retired number in Major League Baseball.
Really?
Yeah. Jorge's the 10th number 20 to be retired in baseball.
Give me some names.
I will. 3-1. Fly ball. Ellsbury calls off Gardner. All right, you've got Frank Robinson, who actually had his number 20 retired twice with the Orioles and with the Reds. Pie Traynor of the Pirates. Lou Brock of the Cardinals. Mike Schmidt of the Phillies. Frank White of the Royals. Don Sutton of the Dodgers. Monty Irvin of the Giants and Luis Gonzalez of the Diamondbacks.
I didn't realize Luis Gonzalez had his number retired.
That hit against Mo went a long way. Yeah. Here's Roberto Perez. There's a strike.
Roberto Perez had a chance to play a little bit when Yan Gomes was on the DL. Put up some decent numbers, a good defensive catcher. Probably better off suited playing maybe once, twice a week.
What are you seeing from Severino today that might be a little different?
I mean, the stuff is still good, but it really jumps out at you like when he threw against Toronto his last time, and he was dotting his fastball perfectly down the lanes in and out. And now he's kind of yanking a little bit. The slider's good, but he's pulling it off the plate. I mean, it's just no different from any other starting pitcher from start to start. It's a little bit different. Last time, I don't think he could have been better with location. Here, he's struggling a little bit. The pitch count elevated. And with all that being said, he's only given up 3 hits and 1 run. Home run in the first against Lindor.
Popped up. Let's see if it stays in play for Greg Bird. Oh, nice play for the second out. Still not totally familiar with this field. And he just made a really nice play.
You know, I think you said it perfectly. He looked a little uncomfortable, like he wasn't quite sure how much room he had. He had a little bit more. Maybe wondering if Stephen Drew was going to come in and try to make the play on Yes Mo. Another look. We talked about it for a few days. Looks very comfortable at first base, making all the routine plays. That's a little better than routine right there.
There's Jose Ramirez. I also want to point out that number 42 is retired by every single team. So that's the most retired number. We know that. So other than 42, which was universally retired because of Jackie Robinson, these are retired for players that actually played on the team. So for semantics, it's 42. Otherwise, it's 20. Time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag #GuessDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile.
Seen a little bit of everything from Jose Ramirez in this series. He's played left field, he's played second base, playing third today. Made a big error in last night's game, although he had a nice offensive day, 3 for 3 with a walk.
And Ramirez down on strikes. So the leadoff single is wasted. We go to the bottom of the 4th at 5-1 Yanks.
Today, and he told me that he had passed the concussion test and he's expected to throw a bullpen tomorrow. So it looks as though he could be added to the Yankees bullpen sooner rather than later. But Joe Girardi did say this: he'd like to see him in a game first before he comes back.
His recovery is amazing, especially if you saw the incident. And I mean, you feared the worst, and here he is. He can be back shortly. Joe Girardi also before the game said that Michael Pineda is going to rejoin the rotation. And he's going to go with 6 men. So nobody's coming out of the rotation. Lincoln scoreboard, 5-1 Yanks.
We already talked about it. That makes sense. You're always trying to give Tanaka and Sabathia an extra day anyway. Month of September is coming up. The rosters expand a little bit.
Well, the plan is to pitch Pineda on Wednesday against the Astros, and that pushes Tanaka to Friday in Atlanta. Gives him a full week after his start, because Thursday is an off day.
The days of being on a routine in between starts are over, huh?
I guess pitchers have to really try to make that work. They're such creatures of habit.
Well, it always used to be such a crutch, and you remember, you know, your buddy again, Mike Mussina, always wanted the exact same amount of time in between starts. He was very particular about his routine. Danny Salazar starting to settle down a little bit. Pitch count at 79 already, so obviously they've done a good job getting the pitch count, getting 5 runs on the board, and they will get in this bullpen sooner than later.
You know, we were talking with Jorge when he was up here about great moments in his career. And one moment we didn't bring up, and it's really never looked at as a real feather in his cap, but rather a feather in Derek Jeter's cap. Billy Crystal just texted me and said, ask John Flaherty how tough it was to make the tag on the flip play with a bulky glove and to swipe it like that and make the tag. He said that's sometimes really not scored high enough on that play.
It's a great point, and I always think watching that play that you could get caught napping as a catcher because you don't think there's going to be a play. And obviously Derek coming across with the flip, and then you can see Jorge has to react a little bit, turn his body back around and swipe the tag perfectly right at the plate. You go to the corner. It's not an easy play, and that's a great point by Billy Crystal. I mean, seriously, you're getting texts from Billy Crystal during the game.
Yeah.
You're going that good? Wow.
I just thought it would be a pertinent point that you'd have a great take on.
I didn't have a great take on it. It was a great point by Billy Crystal. But, you know, that might have been a conversation for a regular person in between innings, you know,
right.
But you have to drop that out there for everybody to hear. Billy Crystal.
But you know what? I don't want to take somebody's point and fake that it's my own. It wasn't mine. It was Billy Crystal's. I should have asked Jorge that. Wow, can't get anything by you, huh?
You know what I was thinking? We probably should have asked Jorge a little bit more about the perfect game with David Wells.
Mm-hmm. I like this. He just dropped it in very matter of fact. He said, you know, David was crazy, but when he was on the...
Well, I know for a fact that David Wells was one of those guys that would frustrate Jorge because we know how intense he was, and he took the game so seriously. And like, it was interesting. He said he played the game mad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think David Wells ever played it mad. He just had a great time with what he did, and an outstanding pitcher.
Swing and a miss. Nice bounce back inning for Salazar as he strikes out the side. Yankees go down in order, and we go to the 5th. It's 5. And a strike.
Let's pay attention to Severino here in the top of the 5th inning. You have a 4-run lead. And I don't think this is on his mind, but I've seen it from other young pitchers where you think to yourself, I have to get 3 outs and I'm in line for a win. I think Severino, one of those guys, when you watch him pitch, I think he thinks a little bit further than that.
Chop to third. Headley gets Aviles. Back to the top of the order, and Jason Kipnis. fouled away. Lands in the second deck and bounds down into the lower level.
Talk about Severino, maybe not as good as he was his last time in Toronto. Still 13 out of 19 first pitch strikes, so getting ahead.
Swing and a miss. 2 outs. Follow the New York Yankees wherever you are with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. Strike to Lindor, who is 2 for 2 against Severino.
Severino starting to go to that changeup a little bit more. He shook off John Ryan Murphy a few pitches last at bat to Kipnis to go to the changeup, pick up the strikeout. Another one to Lindor, and looks like he's going to follow it up with another one here, and a good one.
Now ball a second. Drew gets Lindor in a 1-2-3 inning for Severino, who's retired the last 6 Indians in a row. At the end of 4.5, we're halfway through. It's 5-1 Yanks. Collectible series presented by AT&T for the first 18,000 guests in attendance. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Beltran takes a strike. It's 1-1. You ready for the day? Looking up at the camera. Bigelow T scoreboard 5-1. The Yankees lead. A couple of home runs in the first inning. 2-run shot by Gardner, solo shot by McCann. RBI ground out by Ellsbury and a sac fly by Beltran in the second. One, 2. Ground ball to Lindor. Scored a 6-3.
Talked a lot about Brian McCann last night and some of the adjustments with his stance, and he told our Meredith Marakovitz he's been working on it since Texas. No real issue with the legs. Just trying something a little different, and rewarded for it with that home run, his 22nd of the year.
And Girardi said that McCann is that way. He's a tinkerer. He said he's always changing his stance, looking at previous at bats from years past. He's not going to look at that one as he goes down on strikes.
See, early on he had a tough time picking up the rotation and the changeup out of Salazar's hands, and some pretty weak hacks. You know, there's a couple of different schools of thought on that, Michael. Fred McGriff, who I played with in Tampa Bay, always said if you're struggling, try something different. Tinker with your swing and your mechanics. And then there are other hitters who say, you know what, I know the way I have done it in the past, and I'm going to stick with it, trusting that it's going to come around. Obviously, Brian, one of those hitters that likes to tinker and make some adjustments and get a different feel.
Mattingly changed his stance all the time, and especially after he got hurt. I think he was always trying a way to stand there and not feel it in the back, so he would change it an awful lot. But even before he got hurt, he would change his stance.
Well, after he got hurt, he went to that big leg kick to generate some power.
Line drive, base hit for Bird.
Even when Don Mattingly was a hitting instructor here and I was on the club, he would always try to get you to think about the big leg kick, and I never really felt comfortable doing it. Greg Bird doesn't have a leg kick. It's a very simple swing and another base hit.
Brad Mills, the bench coach, who is managing after Terry Francona got thrown out. He comes out to the mound. He's going to take the ball from Salazar. And Brad Mills makes the Verizon. And the new pitcher is Austin Adams. Pitch way outside to Headley.
You see the numbers for Adams. He's been up and down Columbus and Cleveland.
One and one. Right back to Adams. Caught that in self-defense. And throws out Headley for the final out. No run to hit, no errors, and one man left on base. Hot one right up the middle. Adams throws the glove up, and Headley's out. We go to the sixth. In that picture, but Joe Torre was there. Another number to be put up after today, and one more tomorrow. Number 46, Andy Pettit, will have his number retired. Severino starts Brantley with a strike. He's retired 6 in a row. Severino looking for his first big league win. And certainly has pitched well enough in his previous 3 starts to pick up that win, but the offense wasn't there. Today it showed up against a pretty impressive pitcher, Danny Salazar, who looked like he straightened it out, featuring a changeup that flummoxed the Yankees over the last couple of innings, but they take him out. I want a hot shot into the camera well. Just missed Tad. You all right, Tad? No, Tad's okay. I guess I didn't pay Brantley enough. The 1-2. Skied the other way.
Severino now with all 4 starts has pitched at least 5 innings, and I mentioned earlier his stuff does not let off as he gets deeper into ball games. Might even get a little bit better.
Brantley down on strikes, 7 in a row for Severino.
And now the changeup is a big pitch. He went to it last inning. I don't know if this is a conscious effort with a 4-run lead. Throw some more changeups, but gaining some confidence, great movement.
Here's Santana. And a strike.
Michael, you watch Severino, and I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but you could picture him pitching in a postseason game. I mean, just the way he carries himself. One of those kids that you would think that the moment would not get away from him or become too big for him. Everything we have seen, from stuff to the way he carries himself, doesn't look like he gets flustered. Showed a little bit of emotion today after a big strikeout. The Yankees feel very, very comfortable with what they have seen.
certainly being a little bit more liberal and letting players step out. The rule is if there are runners on base or if there's a foul ball, you can step out. But if not, you're supposed to stay in the box. Now Murphy goes out and talks with Severino. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. High fly ball, right field. Beltran back on the track in front of the wall. He makes the play. Pitch outside to Chisenhall. One and one.
Here it is again, that good changeup we've seen the last 2 innings. To work a little bit in the third and the fourth.
One and two. The 2-2. 3 and 2. And the payoff. He walks Chisenhall. So he had retired 9 in a row. Chisenhall breaks that, and that brings up Almonte. Almonte getting a run in center field for the Indians, and he's actually out of the Yankees system. He was signed by the Yankees in 2005, but then he was acquired by the Mariners from the Yankees for Sean Kelly in 2013. And the Indians got him at the trade deadline from San Diego. One and one. They don't like Severino to go that much over 100, so his day does not have that much more in front of it, although no one's warming in the bullpen.
I was just thinking that 2-out walk to Chisenhall maybe spelled his last inning right here in the 6th. Maybe if he got that out, Larry Rothschild, Joe Girardi might let him go back out there. We'll see how it plays out. Threw 104 pitches his last time, a season high. At least the season high in the big leagues.
One on, 2 outs, top of the 6th, a 5-1 Yankee lead.
You see John Ryan Murphy telling everybody Chisenhall will be on the move. 3-2, 2 outs. For Severino right here, make sure you throw a strike. 100 pitches, you have a 4-run lead.
Hanging in there.
Take that all day long if you're Severino. Fastballs away, throw strikes, force Almonte to do something. A little wiggle room right here with a 4-run lead. You know this is probably going to be your last batter.
Did he go? No, he did not. So 2 straight walks by Severino, putting runners on first and second and bringing Larry Rothschild out.
It's one of those situations for young pitchers finishing off innings, making sure you throw strikes. If you give up a base hit, fine. Back-to-back walks with a 4-run lead and Adam Warren getting loose. Hope to finish off this 6th inning. If you're Severino, let Adam Warren start off the 7th or whichever way Joe Girardi wants to go.
Lance Barrett's going to break this up, as he's just trying to give Warren more time. Is there a countdown there? Because you always see the umpire just get there and then the pitching coach spins around. So you guys going, okay, he's coming, here he is?
You can kind of feel him coming.
Okay.
Obviously, you're trying just to get as much time as you can until that umpire comes out there.
Here's Roberto Perez. Fouled away. He's at 103 right now.
I'm sure part of that conversation with Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, going out there, get aggressive. You got 2 outs, a 4-run lead. Challenge Ramirez, a backup player, hitting just over 200.
So things getting sweaty all of a sudden here in the 6th inning as the Yankees trying to hold on to a 5-1 lead. Severino has walked 2 batters here with 2 outs. Grounded foul. 1-2.
Crowd trying to get going a little bit, pushing Severino through this 6th inning, trying to get this final out. 5 pitches already a season high.
Still throwing hard, 96 miles an hour. The 2-2. Lined and grabbed on the short hop by Gregorius to get the force at second. And Severino wiggles out of trouble. What a play by Gregorius. And from his backside, flips to Drew to get the force. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Got its own holder. Here's Gregorius. Pitches high from Adams. 5-1 Yankees. Austin Adams came in to get the final out in the 5th to relieve Danny Salazar.
Severino continues to impress every time you see him go out there. I think it's fair to say he wasn't locked in today. Walked maybe a few too many. Look at the end of the day, 1 run, 3 hits. Probably should have been another run up on the board. Kipnis a base running mistake. Even when Severino isn't on top of his game, he still does a great job.
Fly ball center. Almonte makes the play, 1 away. Well, after Andy Pettit Day, there's a game. Tomorrow, starting pitchers brought to you by the Verizon Fios, the fastest, most reliable internet. Trevor Bauer will go for the Indians, and CC Sabathia gets the start against his former team. And as we told you earlier, coverage begins at noon with the ceremony, and the game time should be right around 1:07, 1:10. Stephen Drew fouls it back.
One thing that's a constant out of this Cleveland Indian bullpen, they have some hard throwers. Adams running it up there mid to upper 90s.
One and two. Adams deals the 1-2. Tapped up the middle. Lindor's there. 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 6th. It's 5-1 Yankees. Yankees with 3 runs in the first. A 2-run home run by Gardner. A solo shot by McCann. And then 2 runs in the second. A ground ball by Ellsbury scored a run. A sac fly by Beltran. That's the scoring for the Yanks. And so far it's been enough as Severino has had it hold up. Severino allowed a run in the first inning on the Lindor home run. And then shut down the Indians. There's John Ryan Murphy. A quiz for you, John. Last Yankee to wear number 20 before Posada, and I'll give you a hint. It was a catcher.
Mike Stanley.
Yes.
You're impressed.
Yes, I am. Bucky Dent wore 20. Bobby Meacham. Horace Clark. Strike 3. Murphy down looking. As the Yankees go down in order. Ponder some other 20s.
Out of the bullpen for the New York Yankees.
33rd game for Warren. 14 of them were starts, and he pitched very well as a starter. And he'll face 8, 9, and 1 in the Indians order, starting with Jose Ramirez. With such a pest yesterday to Tanaka. There's a strike.
Warren pitched 2 innings on Thursday, so you wonder if this is just maybe a 1-inning appearance.
Yankees do have another reliever in the bullpen. They called up Brandon Pinder today. Excuse me. And they designated for assignment for the 3rd time Chris Capuano.
Warren is just a pitching coach's dream and a manager's dream for that matter. Did a great job as a starter. Then you transition him to the bullpen where he's had success in the past. And I think the greatest compliment you can give him, when Joe Girardi brings him out of the pen, he knows exactly what he's going to get. In that, he throws a lot of strikes, throws all of his pitches, doesn't change his game at all.
One away.
And he can also field his position.
Here's Mike Aviles. And a strike. And Aviles down on strikes. As promised earlier in the game, we've selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag #YesDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. This is from Doughboy 2380. Picture of the family. And that's a Data Strong fan. And a strike.
That's nothing new from Adam Warren, coming out of the bullpen, throwing strikes, getting ahead in the count. That's half the battle.
Hmm. 0-2.
We've seen it all. We've seen the slider, the curveball right there, good changeup, and the power fastball.
Working quickly, always around the plate. And a 12-pitch 1-2-3 inning for Adam Warren as he strikes out Kipnis. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, get up and stretch. Yankees 5, Indians 1, but we'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx as Ryan Webb takes over, and there's still plenty of time when they're resting one of their big hitters, Alex Rodriguez. Just a day off for him, day game after night game, in a stretch of 16 straight games that continues tomorrow, and then 3 more against the Astros. Thursday, finally they have an off day, and then they head to Atlanta for a 3-game set, and then 3 against the Red Sox in Boston. And a strike from Webb.
It'd be nice to get a win here after losing 2 in a row against Cleveland, and you give Mark Teixeira just another day. I hope he comes back tomorrow, feels a little bit better, seems to be progressing.
Grabbed by Ramirez, and he gets Ellsbury for the first out. And here's Gardner. His home run changed the tenor of the game. It was early, but the Yankees have not been doing much offensively. And boom, a line drive into the short porch and right. Made it 2-1 Yankees. His 12th home run of the year. He's 1 for 3 today.
Webb having a very good year, that 2.43 ERA, and you watch him and his arm action, it's all sinking fastballs away from the lefties. In on the righties with that movement. He's right, he's getting a lot of ground balls. Ellsbury hits one the other way on the ground. Brett Gardner rolling one over.
Fouled away. Outside, 3-2. 12 pitches for Warren in the 7th, so no one warming. He'll pitch the 8th as well. Swing and a miss. Gardner looked like he wanted to break the bat across his helmet.
Looked like a change up, a little movement away. Yeah, that low arm angle, which is going to give him some movement away from the lefties in on the righties.
Here's Beltran. He has a 5-game hitting streak working, and now it's 6 games. They had the shift on, no one was there, and a base hit with 2 outs for Beltran.
We've seen the shifts all year long, but when you watch a guy like Webb who works everything away from the lefties with movement, he's going to get a lot of ground balls. You would assume the other way. Carlos Beltran says thank you very much. Just slap one right at shortstop, an easy base hit, and I extend that hitting streak, and my afternoon will be over as Chris Young is going to take over.
Brian McCann. Monica there for this little Yankee. Is that Phil Lindsay's grandson? Still playing. Got a 47,031 here at the stadium today. With a solo home run, his 22nd, his 75th ribby. That was in the first inning. Against the shift, a base hit, no one there. So So McCann picks up a single.
Again, back in the day, you would have conversations with pitchers. I'm going to pitch him away, and you play him away. Those days are over. With all the analytics, they have all these shifts. Brian McCann will hit a lot of ground balls to the right side. Well, he just takes a sinker out across the plate, slaps it the other way, and a great look here. It's an easy base hit.
So Brian's 2 for 4. Batting cleanup today. With both A-Rod and Teixeira out. Teixeira with the injury, A-Rod just a rest. And here's Greg Bird. Greg Bird's performance has kept it simple for the Yankees and for Teixeira. Don't rush it. Come back when you're healthy. We want you at 100%. Don't push it. Because Greg Bird has done enough that they're not desperate to get Mark in there at less than 100%.
And the best case scenario for Greg Bird, he's come up here and he's gotten off to a good start. So if you're a young player, you don't have those negative thoughts. You've had some success early. You know that you belong now. See having quality at bats.
A strike to Bird.
What you like about Bird when you watch his approach, it's so quiet and it's so easy, but he always seems to have his weight over home plate. He doesn't ever seem to be falling off towards the Yankee dugout when he takes a swing. It's just going to give him a chance to hit the ball all over the field, uses left field well.
New York Post had a story where they interviewed Greg Bird's high school coach, and he did not allow Bird to make the varsity right away. So he was on the junior varsity, and they called him up for a big series, and he did very, very well. And he said, we just couldn't send him back down to the junior varsity. He said, I'm going to tell you something. The Yankees are going to have the same problem. He said, even when Teixeira comes back, how are they going to send this guy down? He said they'll find that will be a problem over the next year. Rip foul. Now Bird's part of the Yankee future, but Mark Teixeira still has a year left on his contract. Alex Rodriguez has 2 years left on his contract, so Bird obviously seems like he's ready or very close to being ready. Would you want to maybe retard his growth by having him on the bench next year, or have him play at AAA for a full season? Those are questions that they'll have to answer.
Hate to say it though, because you're talking about Alex Rodriguez and Mark Teixeira, but these things usually work their way out. Sometimes a guy misses a little bit of time. Greg Bird comes up, fills in. I mean, way too early to be thinking about those things. The good news is right now, when there has been a little bit of a hole because Mark has been out a few days, Greg Bird has stepped right in.
Swing and a miss. Bird down on strikes. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base on Jorge Posada Day. Yankees lead 5-1. We'll go to another pitcher. First, they go to Chris Young, who pinch ran for Beltran at right. And the new pitcher is Dellin Betances.
Take a look at his numbers, and they are sparkling. 101 strikeouts now, only 26 walks.
According to the Elias Sports Bureau, Dellin's the first reliever in Yankee history with consecutive 100 strikeout seasons. Pitch outside. Now, Goose Gossage struck out over 103 times. He did it in 78, 80, and 82. Hyundai scoreboard 5-1. Yanks lead. Lindor fouls it off. Last time we saw Betances was August 19th against Minnesota. Lindor 2 for 3. against Severino. And he hits the bag with that ground ball, down straight up in the air. Another hit for Lindor. He's going for 2. Here's the throw to second. And the tag is not made as Drew could not handle the throw. So that is a double off the third base bag for Lindor.
Well, he had a home run his first at bat against Severino. Had a base hit and now a double. Just stays inside of it. Doesn't try to do too much with the Dellin Betances fastball. Good speed. We've seen him handle the bat. Now we've seen some speed. He can play some defense. Could do it all. High throw. Drew tries to come down with the tag. Doesn't have it. That's what you try to do. Don't try to pull a fastball out over the plate. Just slap it the other way. Plays right in front of him. Aggressive base running pays off.
Count 1-0. Tampa Bay and Oakland, 9:05 start tonight. Toronto in Anaheim to meet the Angels, also a 9:05 start. Kansas City and Boston at Fenway Park, a 7:10 start. Right back to Betances, checks the runner, flips the bird. 1 away.
Today on Yes, it's another chance to see Saturday Night Live alum and new host of Late Night, Seth Meyers, on Center Stage with Michael Kay, presented by your Tri-State Land Rover retailers. That's today after the Yankees game, post game, only on Yes.
So 1 down, that'll bring up Carlos Santana.
Remember years ago, Wrigley Field, you and I did a game. Seth Meyers came by to say hello to Michael Kay, and that was one of those moments I said, wow, Michael Kay is big time.
Wow, you're really in a good mood today.
Now you have him on your show. I can't wait to watch it tonight.
He's a very good guy, very nice guy. He did not text me during the game.
Well, he's probably listening now, and he'll send a text here in a few seconds.
I don't think
Let
he
us
has
know.
He doesn't have my number. Gregorius shades up the middle. Santana takes a strike. The 2-2. Going with a lot of breaking balls. Count 3-2. Yankees with 10 hits. The Indians with 4. 5-1 Yankee lead. Runner at second with 1 out. We're in the 8th. Grounded foul. 3-2. Grounded softly to Bird. And he flips to Betances to the second out as Lindor moves to third. Here's Lonnie Chisenhall. Line drive, a base hit to left field. That'll score Lindor. Gardner cuts it off, will fire it in, and Chisenhall with an RBI single. His second hit of the afternoon. It's 5-2 Yanks.
Chisenhall has swung a nice bat in this series against the Yankees. A couple of hits today, now an RBI. See him pulled some balls to right center field, not on this pitch, out over the plate, just slaps it the other way.
Almonte swings and misses. And a strike, 0-2 to Almonte. Strike three. Almonte down looking. But the Indians get a run. The Yankee lead is 3, 5-2. Hyundai scoreboard 5-10-0, leading 2-5-1. And a new pitcher for the Indians. It's Jeff Manchin. 18th game.
The Indians with a little late shift on Chase Headley, so he stepped out. A bunch of runners shifting all over the place a little late.
The run against Betances breaks a streak of 18 straight appearances without allowing a run. Grounded to Kipnis, and he gets it to Santana for the first out.
Well, when you go with a shift and it works, it looks good. As Kipnis playing in short right field comes up with it, Santana, who laid out for that ground ball, able to get back to first base. Headley, who hits it hard, has nothing to show for it.
Didi Gregorius takes outside. down 3-0. Didi got a gift double, lost in the sun by Aviles. That was in the third inning. He's 1 for 3. Didi is playing more games this year than he's ever played before in the big leagues. And Joe Girardi was asked today, do you think that's part of the issue with him slumping a bit? And Joe said no. He said, I don't. I think the players go up and down and they have slumps and they have streaks. He said, now if it goes on for a longer stretch of time, I might buy into it, but I don't think that's the issue right now.
Yeah, I think one thing we have seen from Didi this year, he's a streaky player offensively. Once he gets going, hits come in bunches, and then he can go the other way, and he's in one of those stretches right now.
Fly ball in the right center field. That is going to be in there for a base hit. Almonte cuts it off, but Didi's going for 2, and he makes it.
Gregorius had a gift double early on, a play that was lost in the sun, and this is a legitimate double to right center field. Tailing fastball out over the plate. We've seen Didi when he has been at his best trying to get out and hook balls into that gap in right center. It's exactly what he does. Almonte takes a few extra steps there to plant and throw. Gregorius in easily with that headfirst slide.
Two doubles for Didi, and here is Stephen Drew, 1 for 3. Line drive, and off the glove of Santana, and it trickles into right field. Gregorius is being held up, and wow, Santana almost ran over and did run over Drew. Pushed him off the bag, but the first base umpire, Tom Woodring, said, no, he's safe.
See, Drew hits this ball hard just off of the glove of Santana. Drew probably thinking, I deserve that with all the hard balls I've hit this year. Nothing to show for it. Santana tries to make the play and runs into Drew. Pushes him off the bag. Take a look at this leap. Stephen Drew will take it. Reading the throw, now trying to get back to the bag.
Obviously his foot came off, but you're not allowed to push somebody off the bag the way Santana just did. Here's John Ryan Murphy as the Yankees try to get back that run. They surrendered in the top of the 8th. Lined into right field. Chisenhall makes the play. Tagging is Didi. Here's the throw. And Gregorius slides in with the run. A sac fly for Murphy, and it's 6-2 Yanks as Drew moves to second on the throw. Well, fans, the Yankees have scored 6 runs, so log on to PapaJohns.com tomorrow for 50% off your online regular menu price order. Use promo code Yankee6 at PapaJohns.com. Ellsbury fouls it off.
Good day for John Ryan Murphy, and you watch Perez there trying to catch that ball. Can't come up with it. Even if he did, he wouldn't have been able to have a play on Gregorius. You wonder if he angled his body a little bit more towards third base. Try to catch and swipe the tag. Anyway, John Ryan Murphy, a good day. Base hit, couple strikeouts, but now a sac fly and an RBI. As always, doing a solid job behind the plate.
1-1. 1-2. So with a 4-run lead, it is not a safe situation. We'll see who Joe Girardi uses in the ninth. Miller was ready. And I believe that's Pinder. And a base hit up the middle for Ellsbury. Stephen Drew rounds third. He's coming home. Here's the throw, and Drew is out. Almonte made a great throw to now Stephen Drew at home plate. But the Yankees get a run on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. Almonte airlifts one, and the tag is made by Perez. We go to the ninth. East. And Andrew Miller does come on with a 4-run lead, so it's not a safe situation.
Well, Andrew last worked on Tuesday, so he probably needs a little work. And Joe Girardi, obviously, after losing 2 in a row, wants to seal this one up, try to get Luis Severino his first big league win.
Chopped to third over the head of Headley and into left field. A base hit for Roberto Perez.
Whole lot you can do about this. Perez, a big swing, chops it right into the ground after a long day. A big hop over the head of Chase Headley.
Ramirez swings and misses. Just a reminder, tomorrow is Andy Pettitte Day, and the Yankees are asking that you get in your seats by noon. Now, if you don't have tickets to the game, we have our coverage on Yes also beginning at noon, so you can enjoy it either way. But again, if you do have tickets, it's a 1 o'clock game, but get here earlier so you could be here for the start of the ceremony. This could be a double play. And it is. Yankees 1 out away from a win.
This would be a very nice win for the New York Yankees, beating a tough pitcher in Danny Salazar. The Yankees jumped on him early. The Brett Gardner home run, Brian McCann. Luis Severino wasn't great early, walked 4. At the end of the day, he's in line for his first big league win.
There's a strike. Fly ball, center field. This should do it. Ellsbury's there, and the Yankees win 6-2. In the ninth, no runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left. Andrew Miller gets the final 3 outs, and the Yankees snap this little mini skid with a victory here in the Bronx on Jorge Posada Day. Luis Severino picks up his first big league victory, and he's helped by Warren, Betances, and Miller, each pitching an inning. Yankees have another big day tomorrow, Andy Pettitte Day, and they will also close out this 4-game set against Cleveland.